Okay, I will see you guys in just a little bit.
Let me see if I can.
What is going on, people? This is Th3WitchDoctor, and welcome to the Sonic Mania podcast. Sorry to cut you guys off, by the way.
It's all good.
But today there's gonna be nothing but Sonic Mania talk from all four of us that you see on the screen. Pretty much no need for an introduction. You already know who the fuck is here. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start off with we're gonna start off by talking about what we all think of the game, our experiences, what we think of the level design, all that stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and go from like left to right. So Doom, what do you think of this game?
What do I think? I think it's bloody amazing. I think it is fantastic, and it's my favorite Sonic game ever made, and they hit pretty much all the right notes, and it is wonderful, and you should go buy it.
Ah, nice.
I've never, throughout my entire career of knowing Doom, have heard him say bloody. That's how you know this game's good.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Alright,
I had to tap into my true inner Brit right there.
Ah, nice. Alright, that it from you, dude?
Or pretty much.
Alright, Juan, what you got?
I think the game's okay for a Sonic game. You know, it hits all the right. No, just kidding. It's probably my favorite Sonic game.
I know exactly what you're trying to do. I'm sorry, go on.
It definitely is my favorite Sonic game, I'm pretty sure. Like, I've been waiting for this forever since I played the originals on the Mega Collection. It's just so nice to see that they did such a good job with, like, just everything.
Ah, nice.
That's all I got. Yeah.
Alright, which?
Man, like everyone else said, it's refreshing to have a good Sonic game again. Now, I'm not trying to piss people off by saying that, but it's true because I'm a classic Sonic fan. I've always loved classic more than modern, and to get something like this was, yeah, I didn't see it coming too. That was the biggest thing. I never thought we would go back to classic, and
a good
I'm so glad. This game was amazing. I'd say it's probably the best classic Sonic game.
Yeah, like I'm gonna have to agree with Wish. This barely beat out 3 and Knuckles for me.
Yeah,
barely,
not by a lot.
Barely beat
I
it.
think it is better. Yeah.
And my thing about the game is I love it. Like I said, I tell people this all the time. I'm not really a Sonic fan, but I like the style of gameplay. But god damn, is this game fucking good? Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first Sonic game I played where I smiled the entire fucking adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't hate any part of this game. Nothing.
But I linked the bosses, by the way. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you linked up. All right, cool. Yeah, I didn't hate any part of this game. It is so refreshing. Let's see. Level design wise, what do you guys think of it?
Yeah, as you mentioned before, it's like the most consistent Sonic game today. Every single level, every single zone is really well made, and I think if I were to compare the level design to the previous ones, I'd say that it's most like Sonic 3 and Knuckles in the way that it kind of constructs its levels. You know, it gives you that burst of speed, those kind of sections where there's a lot of smooth sailing, and then it gives you those cool, interesting platforming segments. And
yeah.
I really like that dynamic of the levels.
Nice. Juan, what'd you think?
I think the way that they did level design is really interesting because it's a good hybrid between 3 and Knuckles and CD. But the thing about it is that for the majority part, a lot of the level design is like vertical. Like you can be going a certain way, it'll loop you up left. Like there's a lot of points where, unlike the older games, you'll be going left to like swerve downwards or to swerve up and go around instead of just going straight to the right. It uses a lot of old, like very faithfully used level design tropes. Like I know in Flying Battery in the original, where they have the fans or whatever, if you were to climb up as Knuckles on the wall, glide across, there'd be rings across. And I checked that not too long ago actually, and they were all there, like the exact same amount and everything, same position and everything. And you can like definitely tell like that they put a lot of love into like just reusing shit. And it's very well done because it always like blends in well with the new, I feel. Like it's always like, oh hey, one old section here, it's like it never lasts like too long, I think too. It's always like maybe, oh, you're just gonna be here for like 3 seconds and then you're gonna transition into a new section of level design that they added. So I think it's very fluid and feels very fresh, even though they used a lot of the old bits and pieces for the older stages.
Oh, no, sorry. Which?
What can I say after that? No, I'm just kidding. I love the level design in this game. It, like Juan said, it's very fluid. And the thing that's really cool about it, it's like it's fluid through and through. So it's fluid in every route you take, and I like that. Because you would think about maybe if I go, because usually the bottom route, it will take you longer to get to the end of the stages, but it still felt like it moved along great. I was gonna say swimmingly, I don't know why, but
yeah,
because he said fluid, so it moves along fine, swimmingly, and I just like how the layout is. It's not like you said. I hate it kind of going just always to the right the whole time because you wouldn't really get punished for it unless you're playing Sonic CD. Because
it is a bit off-putting though sometimes because having played like 1, 2, and 3, there's never really sections like that where you go left and it loops you back around, but it usually just puts you right back on track anyway. So if you think you're going in the right, like in the wrong direction, you'll be like, oh, okay, I'm fine.
That was it for me.
Y'all pretty much said it all. Like, goddamn. Level design is very, very, very fantastic. I like my thing about certain video games is I like to explore a lot, and there is a lot to do in that game, or a lot to explore in that game. There's even pathways I have yet to find. Like I have still yet to find all the pathways because that's one thing about a Sonic game. Like even like in the old ones, I have still yet to find certain pathways in certain Sonic games, like 3 and Knuckles, for example. Like every time you go to a new game, it's like, or every time you go to a Sonic game back in the day, it's just like, wow, I've never been here before. But that's what I feel from this game too. I love it. I love the level design. So nice.
And isn't it strange too that I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, go ahead.
But that they want you to explore all the new pathways and stuff like that. But it's a Sonic game, so it's meant to be fast.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of people time out just from looking for stuff in the game, and I just find that funny.
It's fun because like there's a lot of little things where you wouldn't expect it. Like, oh, you'll climb up this wall. It's like, oh, look, there's a life here, rewarding me for thinking to climb up the wall. It's like, oh, there's a bubble shield in this very specific area that I've never been to because I decided to do something differently this time.
Yeah.
Well, and I like how you can't get certain items unless you're the certain character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like that. Yeah.
Because I know there's one extra life box in Act 1 of Studiopolis, and you can get it as Tails, but not as Sonic or Knuckles, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Another thing that I actually love about the levels, there's a classic thing that's not really present too much in the modern games, is each level has their own kind of specific, I guess, little gimmicks. So they have their own specific like dash pads, whereas in the modern games that you have the universal dash pad. in every level. So like this game, you've got the ones from Chemical Plant. Hydro City has the hands. Stardust Speedway has the ones on the ground. Yep.
Yeah, Studiopolis. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, the van.
and then of course the new zones as well have their own really cool, unique gimmicks too. Like the freezing ice block thing from Press Garden. Just a bunch of stuff from Mirage Saloon. Like, I really love that. It helps kind of reinforce the unique element of every zone and every level.
Yeah, and I was gonna get to that because I was gonna say I like the fact that they took the zones that we got in the game. I like the fact that they took other zones from other games and kind of like implemented gimmicks into those zones, like the whole Oil Ocean with the Sanopolis thing and like all that stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
I thought that was cool.
Lava Reef with the CD walkers.
Yes.
Stardust Speedway with the Marble Garden
Yeah.
pulleys.
Like, it is.
Oh, what was the things from Aquatic Ruin they shot out to the wall?
Oh, the little arrows.
The darts. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're the Asterons from Metropolis.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah.
The stars. It's very strange, but it's such a cool little detail.
Just the little references they even put in the levels, like the whole Mirage Saloon.
I found a new one today, actually.
Really?
In Studiopolis, I think it's one. You can go on one of the boards now, it's just sitting there waiting, and it's a colors reference. It's going through the tricks, the good, great, awesome, outstanding, amazing. Just like flickering through the light.
That's why it was doing that. I was like, what?
That's sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I sat there waiting. I was like, what is this? I was like, oh, that's cool.
That's actually interesting. Anything else level design wise?
They make it kind of hard to find special rings, I think, because of vertical shafts.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you have to go on very specific routes, and it can be a bit punishing, I feel. Because I can think of a good example. In Oil Ocean 1, you see one through an elevator, and if you go out through the right side to try to get it, there's some fans that prevent you from getting it from that side. So you basically just can't get that ring anymore.
Yeah, it's like special rings. While we're on the topic, special stages, how do you guys like them?
I
think-
really enjoy the
Oh, go
new
ahead.
ones. I really enjoy them. I think they're a lot of fun. They're a bit awkward to get into at first, but I've definitely come to enjoy them. It's a bit of a shame that once you've collected all the Chaos Emeralds, you can't play them again. I actually would have liked to at least have a mode where I can just go back and, you know, play the special stages like you can the Blue Sphere stages. But I'd be more than happy with them bringing this concept back in a future game like this if they did another one.
One.
Okay, so I think they're still a bit slippery for me, and I think that's just to emulate
Yeah, I
how
think-
Sonic R is.
Yeah, I think that was
Yeah.
the actual point. Which
I think if they do another one, fix that, please, because like I know they're trying. Like the models are enough. Like it's clearly Sonic R. You don't have to make the control suffer as a result of trying to be like, you know, it's not too bad, but it does take a bit of getting used to. Because I was having some trouble when I first started the special stages. It's weird how 7's the easiest one by far, I think.
hey, yo, fuck 5 and 6, bro. I can't.
5 and 6 are hard.
I can't.
I think 5 for me. I don't know. It's just they feel really good. I like the music that plays in them, but I wish, like Blue Spheres, that not only you could replay them, but there were more of them.
Yeah.
Like it's because like even if you were able to replay them, it's like, oh, it's only the 7 anyway, so it, you know, just like make more or something.
Oh, the other thing that did kind of bother me about the special stages is the walls and the pits don't really telegraph themselves very well. Sometimes you're like in the first stage, it has a bunch of walls you can bounce off, and you're like, okay, so I can bounce off the walls. But then like later stages don't have those walls, and it's not quite clear where has walls and where doesn't immediately. I think that could have been made a bit more readable.
Yeah. Because Special Stage 5 has that same exact goddamn problem. I can't tell what's a wall and what's the pit, and I just get blown away. Which?
I cried a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Not actually cried, but initially when I first saw it, because I'm shook. That's why dude, I'm telling you, it was just I don't like those special stages because this is my first thought from when I seen it when they released gameplay of it.
Yeah.
Because I could never do it in CD. I was terrible at doing that UFO crap. Like CD is still the Sonic game that I've never done the special stages. I could not finish them for some reason. I just can't do it. Like I don't know if my, one of my hands just goes and I just can't, I just can't like do it. And then when I played it in Mania, it was awesome because I could actually do it. And it wasn't as bad as CDs was. So I guess it's more of a don't judge a book by its cover kind of thing. I initially wasn't even going to try to get the Chaos Emeralds because I saw that and I was just like, I can't do this. I already know I can't. But I did it and it wasn't as bad. I was a little let down by the 7th Emerald because you would think that would be like...
It was extremely easy.
Yeah, like I thought that would have been like the hardest one, and then like I think it took me like an hour or two just to get past like what was it, 6 or 5? I forgot which one it was, but it was good. I liked it. It was refreshing to see that it wasn't as hard as CDs was.
Yeah.
Well, if CD's hard for anyone else, because for me, I can't.
I'm with you on that one. I actually could not do CD special stages. They hurt my eyes. But overall, I love them. Probably my favorite ones in the series, honestly. Fuck 5 and 6. That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. And since what I was talking about at the beginning, control. I'm gonna just go ahead and say this is probably the best control in 2D Sonic game. To be completely honest.
Feels so crisp. Everything feels so nice. I feel so in control of all 3 characters.
Yes, it's so nice.
I feel like it partially feels that way too because 60 frames.
That too.
But it's also like 1-to-1 with 3 Knuckles. Like I have a tiny adjustment maybe on like Knuckles, I think, but it feels really like faithful. Just feels really good. Drop dash feels good.
Oh, the drop dash! Oh my god! Yeah. Speaking of that, how do you guys like that? By the way, that ability that they gave for
through the whole game, I only did it 3 times.
It's really only a speedrunning thing.
Just know I didn't use it until I beat the game because I just didn't know how to use it.
I didn't know how to do it. Yeah.
It's an ability that you don't really need until you're speed running.
Yeah.
And like once you kind of got more of a flow of the game and you understand the game more, you implement it more.
Stupid fun. I hope they keep it though. I really hope they do. Like if they're gonna continue this, I hope they keep the drop dash.
Ooh, but like back to the controlling. Do you know what is so amazing about the control in this game and how good it is?
Huh.
I'm gonna just say this right now. Look at Tails and play as Tails. That is the best flying I've ever had with Tails in any Sonic game.
I will agree with you.
Because in the other ones, like if you go, like say you point your analog, if you're using the analog stick, you point it in a direction, right? Like in a diagonal one or whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Tails will go flying in that direction, even if you stop touching it for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But the amount of control you have with Tails when he's flying is really nice, and I love that. I'm done.
That's really good. Wait, what do?
No, I was just agreeing.
Alright. Now, this is gonna be the fun part, and we're gonna do this later on anyway, but we're just gonna talk about it right now. The stages themselves. The stages they brought back. How do you guys like them?
I'm fucking tired of Green Hill.
Yeah, okay, let me just say this now. Don't bring back Green Hill for another 10 years, please.
No, never. I never want to see Green Hill again. Ever.
Like, I like it. I like it in this game. And if they're bringing it back later on, I'm not going to say in the fucking game because we're going to get fucking... But, don't bring back Green Hill ever again, please.
Should we, just go through the stages and the bosses for the stage, like, in order?
Yeah,
like,
we can do that. So, well, we're already at Green Hill, so, Green Hill! Anybody?
Nice and simple. Good introduction to the game. It's very forgiving. There's lots of routes. It's a good fun stage.
All right. So anybody else got put on tilt when they saw the Death Egg as Act 2 boss?
I love how that.
I did like that a lot, though.
I did like.
I love how that comes full circle. Yeah, from Sonic 2 being the final boss to early boss in this game.
I remember they freaking showed it off, and I was just shook because I was like, "Wait, like, why is this? Why is this the first boss in this zone, or the second one?" It's so
Yeah, the
dumb.
first one's just a different kind of. It reminds me of like the launch base one, but like mixed with like the wrecking ball that he normally has.
Yeah.
I like the Act 1 boss a lot in Green Hill Zone. I don't know why. It's really simple, but
It's a good first boss.
yeah,
Oh,
it's a really good first boss to it.
You know what it is? It feels kind of like the Sonic 1 boss, but like with a twist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's called the
The
DD
Death
record.
Egg, the for Act 2. I don't know if we were still going in order or not, because everyone just went in like a.
Yeah, it didn't matter at that point.
For Act 2's, yeah, that seeing the Death Egg robot was so cool. Because Sonic 2 is probably up there as one of my favorite Sonic games, and to see that, it's just crazy to see something like that as like the second boss in the entire game. That's how you know the game's gonna be good, because they're confident enough to put a boss like that as the second boss.
Yeah.
That is so dope, and I like the mechanics that they had for that boss too. It wasn't like the flying fist this time. Like and it's also cool that you can, if you don't beat them in a certain time, you lose.
Oh wait, really?
Yeah, because the stage
Yeah,
stage just
Yeah,
ends.
the stage will end.
Yeah, the stage just
Oh
ends.
wow.
Yeah,
I didn't know about that.
I tested it out.
Yeah,
at one point.
I knew the hard way.
I tested it out and I was like, oh, this just ends. Okay. But yeah, Green Hill, pretty basic stage. I like the boss.
I will say on the Death Egg bot again. I don't want to see him for a while. They've been using him a lot.
Yeah, they used
Yeah.
it twice already.
Yeah, I'd just let him rest. Like no more
Let Green
for
Hill
a
rest
while
as
at
Yeah,
least.
let Green Hill.
He'll just put
rest.
it down forever. And then I like the transition for the was it they grab the Phantom Ruby and it just teleports them to Chemical Plant, the second returning stage.
Oh yeah, Chemical Plant, nice stage. I kind of like the original a little bit more. Well, Act 1, Act 2.
yeah, Act 1
Yeah.
is. I like the original more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I
thing-
like Act 1 more.
The thing that made me sad about Sonic Mania's Chemical Plant is that they didn't have that special shortcut that was in Chemical Plant Act 2 of Sonic 2, where
Oh yeah.
like if you go left at a certain point, jump and go left, you go to like a shortcut that allows you to completely dodge all the purple water, and it gives you like 30 rings and invincibility before the boss.
Yeah.
Oh, you say that, and I was able to skip that part in Act 1. There's a pathway that's really, really above that area, and you can just go through there, and you don't go through the purple water whatsoever.
Hmm.
Oh, I forgot about talking about the music for those stages.
Oh, well, yeah, we'll just do it while we're talking about the stages. How did you guys like the Green Hill remix? Going back real quick.
It's
Good.
Green Hill.
Yeah, Eva says Green Hill. I like Act 2 though.
I like 2. Yeah.
I like
how,
Act 2 a lot.
Yeah, I like how they did Act 2. Nice tropical.
And I'll also say that this is the best Green Hill we've ever gotten.
Yes.
It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
Fuck that SA2 one.
Yeah.
All
All right, let's stick
back
to
back to Chemical Plant.
Yeah. So.
I really like the new gimmicks that they introduced in Act 2 actually. The goop gimmick, how they teach it to you at
Yeah.
the beginning of the stage,
Yeah.
and then the kind of DNA splicer thing.
Oh, that group brought back very bad memories.
Wacky
to,
workbench.
Yup.
Yo,
man.
fuck that stage, bro.
The music for both acts is very good. Like I've heard like a lot of they've used they remixed Chemical Plant quite a bit in Sonic's history, but that one was really good. For some reason I really like the police sirens that you hear throughout the stage.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about those sirens, but I was like, oh shit, I'm getting chased by the popo. This is great. But then like you're not. It's so fun. I'm sorry. Like, I don't know
It's all good. Yeah, no. Chemical Plant. I'll say this. like I said with Green Hill, put it to rest. Because I don't want to see this stage either.
Like, I'm starting to like it less because it's like, it's stop. Like, I like that stage a lot, but don't make it the next Green Hill, please.
I don't want to see Chemical play it after this ever again.
Act 1's boss.
Act 1's boss. Oh yeah, Act 1's boss. It reminded me of the ice cap one. What was it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It's the first act of the mini boss of Ice Cap.
My first thought was the Metropolis boss in Sonic 2.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, that thing.
Yeah. I didn't like the boss, to be quite honest. I was
For Act 1?
Yeah, I didn't like the Act 1 boss too much. A part of me was hoping to see the Eggman one again. Not gonna lie, I thought it would have been cool to see that Eggman one again, but I mean, it's good to not reuse some bosses like in the actual level, so it was cool.
Speaking of not reusing bosses, how about that Act 2 boss? You know what I'm saying? That fucking boss came out of fucking nowhere.
Wow.
That was, I'm not gonna lie, that was amazing. That Act 2 boss is actually funny shit.
Yeah. I lost to him once. I didn't think you could lose to him.
Oh my god.
I almost lost to him.
No, that's the thing is that his AI is extremely low. So it's not hard to beat him, which is good, because like if you're gonna put something like that in the game, not everyone plays Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Boy, Sarge over here just destroying Eggman. Leave him alone.
I got put down one time with my Tails playthrough because I literally got nothing. Like, I was not getting any of the stuff, and he literally had everything, and I got put down. I was like, what? I didn't think you could actually lose to him, but I guess RNG's a thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I didn't. Besides that, though, I didn't really think much of the Act 1 boss. It was kind of whatever.
Yeah, that one was whatever. Act 2, though, it was just like, damn, they actually did this.
Yeah, that was dope.
Then they transition out of the sewer to Studiopolis.
Oh boy.
Songs are amazing, by the way.
I love Act 1's music. That's my favorite one of Studiopolis. Act 1 is...
You know what
gets me in
fantastic.
Yeah, both of them are really good. I think what really gets me was one. It was just when you hear the lights, camera, action. I'm just like, oh shit,
that shit gets fucking
trying to win me over. I see. That's how you get into. Now stop. But that's how you That's how you win me over. But that was cool. I liked Act 1's soundtrack a lot, along with Act 2's.
At least level design wise. It's pretty interesting. It definitely sticks to the whole vertical shafts thing I said earlier. There's a lot of different pathways to go through.
Oh, yeah.
And I noticed this one a lot. Does the thing I said where it'll throw you left to like loop you around to the right.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like this stage because it has like, it's fun to play through, but it's so nice to see all the little like references you can point out.
Yes.
Because it's definitely packed with them. Like the colors one I mentioned. It's packed with
the Sega Sonic popcorn and whatnot.
Yep, the lock-on technology. The one at the end of Boss 2.
Oh, that one was hilarious. that was hilarious.
Just the attention to detail throughout Studiopolis is freaking amazing.
I'm not gonna lie, I like the little enemies that just like flew around and like took pictures of you. I don't know why, I just like
Yeah, I always wondered what they did, but like that's all they do apparently.
That's all they do is just take pictures of you.
You know what? I will say the one thing that kind of threw me off, like I know there's not supposed to be logic in video games and stuff like that, but as cool as the gimmick was of going inside of the TV van and like it warping you like that, I just like, it was weird because like I was expecting something more of along the lines in I don't know if you guys remember in Def Egg Mach 2 in Sonic 3.
Yeah, where it was like
you would go through the circle, so you see yourself through it rather than because like you're just completely gone. Like you transform into the radio waves, and it's like that threw me for a loop. But I thought it was really cool. But I was kind of expecting more something along the lines of how it was in the Def Egg.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't mind though, just because those sections always did take a bit longer than they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And I hated hearing
It's
that
fine.
noise.
Studiopolis also had my favorite badnik, where it was the Orbinaut with the 3 little balls, and as you destroyed more of them, it got sadder and sadder.
I know they did that in Generations with the chemical plant enemies. You run into them and they just get sad and die. And it was like, oh.
Wait, was Studiopolis also the one that brought back that annoying ass Batnik from Spring Yard?
Wait, which one?
The spinball one, where it turned into
No,
a ball and it
that's
rolls down.
No, that's Mirage.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Mirage, yeah.
Well, I guess since go ahead, Dominic. My bad.
I was gonna say this level also introduced the first hardboiled heavy, by the way.
I was just about to say that.
Yep.
God damn it! How'd you guys like that boss?
I found it a little bit awkward at first because your jump arcs aren't what you think they would be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what
And
it
on
is?
top of that, you're going uphill for a good chunk of it.
you
Like
know what
whenever
it-
it's
Yeah.
like,
You know what it actually is? The camera's not going fast enough.
yeah.
That's literally all it is.
I struggled on that boss with Tails because just of the initial I think as you play as Tails throughout that point, because you get to play 4 acts as Tails, so you have the instinct of when you jump, you press the jump button again to start flying, and that happened to me quite a bit as Tails playing through it with that boss.
Yeah.
I have yet to still play the game through with Knuckles though. I still want to do that.
Have you guys played in a Supersonic, that boss?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have like 200 rings, you can just walk away and go make food. That's what I did.
Pretty much.
I came back and I just see the boss done.
No way.
Because
That's
the camera drags you along and the missiles go straight, so it's gonna hit him every time anyway. I just come back as like, oh, thank you, game. Appreciate it.
And then
Oh yeah, and of course, and since this is the boss that introduces the hard-boiled heavies theme music, that music's
good.
nice and powerful.
It feels like Jet Set, or it sounds like Jet Set Radio anyway. Like, it definitely gives off that vibe.
You know, I'm gonna say this. I don't know why, but it probably is just me. Like I like both songs. But I kind of personally think that the Hard-Boiled Heavy theme should have been the mini boss theme. Because it just seems like it fits them more. Because it sounds more
upbeat and like.
Well, okay.
Well,
I'd say no, because the Hard-Boiled Heavies boss fight feels more dynamic. Like there's more going on, and I feel like that fits better with the theme that they have.
Well, I guess to each their own. Like, I don't know. That's just how I felt. I felt like more of the robot kind of vibe from the mini boss theme than the Hard-Boiled Heavies theme. That one just sounded like a really nice upbeat kind of song. But I like both of them a lot. Don't get me wrong. That's just me.
and then Act 2's boss, the weather boss thing.
That was a really cool boss. It's a shame I killed it in like 10 seconds, so I never got to see like most of its attack until my Knuckles playthrough.
I was so confused of what the wind one was doing, and I was like, what do I grab on? Because there's just nothing but spikes here, and it was just like bars
Yeah,
on
you
the side.
can't really tell the bars. Yeah.
I was confused about the sun one at first, and I was like, oh, okay, I just have to stay below him.
Get him.
But other than that, boss is pretty basic though.
That's
So-
cool. That's a pretty cool gimmick.
Yeah.
It's
I
annoying to play as
think-
Knuckles, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was about
Yeah.
to say Knuckles
It's
is
long.
like
It's
annoying.
a shorter jump, so you actually get to see all of his attack.
It's a really easy boss with Tails too, since Tails
He just
Tails
flies
have
up,
hitbox. Yeah. So it's really easy with Tails.
Oh, I love the end of that boss. The was it the TV goes out and it has the date referencing the stream that they had where they showed off Mania where they had all
and
those
the
problems.
freaking
You hear
buzzing.
the same buzzing,
Yep.
and then you go in, spin the sign, and I love the transition where it's you see the flying battery in the back, and they run in the back and jump onto it.
Yeah, that was dope.
You just see it
Yeah.
on the TV. I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Alright. That it for Studiopolis? Anything else?
Yeah, really good stage.
Flying battery. What you guys think?
disproportionately hard and long for where it was in the game.
Yeah,
But
it should have been like.
Yeah, it felt a bit too long, especially Act 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But I still think it's a fun stage just because it I feel like it's the first one that begins to kind of test your ability as a player. That's definitely the zone where I feel like, particularly for the newer players, is where the deaths start piling up.
Yeah, you can get crushed pretty easy in that one too.
Oh, I got crushed.
Crushed, falling off the edges,
Stupidly
and
today.
yeah.
Yeah, one of the few zones with actual bottomless pits, because very few have them, because it's a Sonic game,
Oh yeah.
classic game.
Remixes.
Oh, I like Act 2's a lot more than
Yeah.
I
one.
like
I
Act 2's.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because one, it just
it's
sounds a lot.
very
It just sounds a lot
similar.
nicer. Yeah.
Very similar
It's
with
better
just
instruments.
different.
Yeah.
It's not 16-bit.
I
Yeah,
like,
music.
Oh, I will say this about Flying Battery in general. I feel like this was the stage. This is probably why I don't like it as much. It's at least compared to the original. This stage feels like they use the most of the same. Like, there's definitely a lot of sections that I see. It's like, oh, this is really faithful. It's like, oh, yeah, especially in Act 1. Like, it reeks of that. Like, oh, this is ripped straight from that. It's like, oh,
Oh, yeah.
like, it's not enough new. I know 2 has the outside gimmick, but it's not really. I don't know. It doesn't feel that new
It
or like
reminded
that
me of,
game changing.
It reminded me of elements of Wing Fortress from Sonic 2, especially
hate
with
that
the
The outside
with the
sections,
cluckers.
definitely. Yeah.
All right.
I thought they were named Conquer.
The bosses.
Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie. Act 1's boss is probably like my favorite boss's name of all the bosses they have in the
What is it
damn
called?
game. It's called Big
Squeeze.
Squeeze.
Is it really what?
Yeah,
It's called
I
Big
listed all the
Squeeze.
names here.
Oh, hold on. I didn't even look.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
so that boss fight, I got really curious to see if you could actually die, or if it was like I forget which boss fight it was. There was a boss fight in one of the older games where if
Sonic
you-
2. It was
if you waited long enough, it would die eventually. I think it was the original Flying Battery 1, and I guess they
Yeah.
did this on purpose to see if someone would do it. But no, if you wait, you just die.
You get crushed, yeah.
Yeah. So they definitely knew. They're like, oh, okay, someone's gonna remember and try that. It's like, no, they just kill you off.
again, another pretty easy boss with Tails as well.
Sonic
Knuckles,
as
I don't
well.
know. I think
Knuckles
it
is
feels-
the hardest because he.
If you're Sonic with
he
the
climb
electric
up the
shield, it's
walls.
super free.
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. Like freaking Stardust Speedway. Act 1 just started playing. And go on. Just go on.
I don't. It's so sad how it's just the Studiopolis, like Orvanauts. They're just like the scrap.
They're just in the scrap thing. And they're just
I know,
so
and
sad.
they look so sad too.
Alright, I'm
Oh.
gonna lie to you. Act 2's boss put me down a few.
I fucking don't like that one. Like that's probably my least favorite boss. It's so
Yeah.
it's so precise and it feels so finicky. He's never positioned. Like sometimes he'll just never be positioned in the right spot for you to hit him when it's like when the spikes are there, and it's just like ugh.
You suck.
Well, if that boss did
It-
do something
I-
wonderful, it gave birth to that the
Omelet.
fan character Eggett.
Oh,
Omelet,
yeah.
Omelet, yeah, it's great.
who needs to become a real thing.
Yeah, that would be dope.
I
That'd be
just
dope.
like I don't know. I don't have trouble with the boss. I just think it's too finicky. Like just like cause sometimes I'll feel like oh that definitely should have hit it hard enough to like bounce into the spikes, and it's like no, because they'll just hit the ground and it won't count. And it's like oh that's dumb.
Well, duh, it's
Yeah.
a spider.
God damn it.
Finicky, and it takes quite a while as well, it feels.
Yeah,
Which is annoying
which is
after a long
annoying
level.
because it's really long. So that was like the only time in the game where I timed out was that boss fight.
God damn. I
I don't
almost
like
timed
this. Go ahead.
out. Oh, I said I almost timed out. I think I was like 9:57 when I beat it, and I was like, oh my god.
You're lucky
I
that
beat him
time
pretty
cost that
easy.
capsule.
It's just I didn't like the whole gimmick of having to spin on the side of those thingies and to like line up your shot to hit the.
Yeah.
And then if you miss it, he just climbs
Yeah.
up anyway, and you gotta wait for another cycle. So it's
Mhm.
like it feels really finicky to me. I don't know.
The boss can go really fast if you
Do
can
it
get all your timings right,
perfect, but-
obviously. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't too crazy about the spider boss.
Yeah,
I know Slur wasn't.
Yeah, one of the weaker. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, one of the weaker bosses in the game, to be completely honest.
How do they transition from there? Don't.
How did they transition?
I think they just fade to
they just
press
fade,
garden.
yeah.
I think this was one of the first zones where it's just a fade.
It just fades to
Really?
press garden. Yeah.
I feel like it doesn't.
Well, hold on.
No, it does. I remember it now. It definitely does fade.
Whoa,
It's
how-
really weird.
How did they do it?
It's legit just a fade.
Just a fade to
Oh.
black.
Catch the fade.
Oh,
Like it's
okay.
just like that straight up.
Huh. Okay. Press garden.
My personal favorite zone.
My
I
favorite-
fucking love this zone.
Yeah, my favorite zone in the game.
What, like, who thought of the idea? Who thought of a newspaper press combined with like some traditional Japanese snow garden? It's fucking genius, and it just works
Like,
incredibly well, and it's gorgeous, and the music's incredible for both zones, and oh, I love it. And it's that zone. It's that zone that makes me feel like they need to make a game of just original zones.
Oh,
'Cause
Yeah.
if they're making
Yeah.
zones like this, then they're just gonna make something spectacular.
I think what I love about the zone the most was one, the music is phenomenal. The music is like that's top tier Sonic music right there. Like I remember when I was at work, I at least replayed it like what, at least like 3 times before I moved on to the other acts.
Oh yeah.
But man, it's so nice and serene because usually when you think of snow levels, like it's usually kind of like harsh environment, a little hectic. But like how Doom said, like with the Japanese style, and then like the snow, it had a very calming feeling. That was so dope because the music kind of went along with that too.
Yes.
I hate that zone.
Wait.
No. It took me a while to realize that press garden was newspapers, like the first one. I thought it looked
Yeah.
to me, it looks like backgrounds like in a show or something where like trains are going by,
Mhm.
Yeah.
because it's scrolling so quickly. But like no, it's newspapers. I do like the first level, but of course, I think it's really strange that it's still like there's a box at the start that you can't get for some reason.
I don't know how
And
to
it,
get
like-
that.
It tilts me because
Mm.
I still don't know how to get it. But
Because there's a fire shield. There has to be a fire shield somewhere.
no, but even you can't use the dash into it because that's only towards the broken ones, and you can't get it if it's under you.
Huh.
So yeah, I don't know if they just messed up or like what.
Yeah, that's
But-
weird item placement at that point.
What is it? Its first one's pretty good. My favorite's definitely just favorite act to play in the game. It's probably 2. I had like to the point of having the world record for a while and people trying to steal my tech. Feel me?
I remember that day.
And then I came along, and then I like blew him away. We like
It-
beat
it-
the stage in like 3 seconds. So
Yeah, me
Like
too, bro. I love
your
Ah,
debug
nice,
mode.
nice PC hacker.
Debug mode.
Like,
Puts the sign down. 1 second, bro.
so dumb.
No, the music too, just in 1's really good. I like 2 more. It feels really magical and it fits like really well with just the environment around it. I do like the first boss. After you beat it, it explodes and like gets rid of the factory, I guess, to like show the environment outside, which I really like. Like, oh, that's just neat.
And it's just a nice sort of callback to when Sonic games introduced new and creative trope ideas. You look
Yeah.
at like a game like Lost World, and it's literally the most generic possible level tropes.
Literally
But
just
now
took-
it's like you
took
look
Super
at
Mario,
Mania.
and it was just like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I know Act 1 had like a rabbit badnik that was from Sonic 1.
Yeah, it had the rabbit.
Very
It never
similar.
got used. It never got used, right? Like
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, it
it's
never
like
got
a,
used.
A beta one.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then in
Uh,
debug mode, you can actually put that rabbit in Green Hill.
Yeah, which is really funny. I know Act 2. I really like just how they did things. Like there's so many details in 2 too. Like I like how the freezing. It's not like you can do stuff with it. Like you can slide along the level, go around like this loop to throw you near the end. You can like use it to break ice. You know.
Mm-hmm.
The same. with
I
the
like how you
fire-
can break out of
fire-
it.
Yeah, and I like how does it damage you for staying inside of it.
Mhm.
Like they use it as a like a level gimmick, and it's like it feels really good. I think.
Mhm.
I like the little, like, the starfish that gets thrown out of the aquatic ruin darts. It's like, oh, those are the darts, but like, I heard that it wasn't that, and I was like, oh, it's actually the stars. And I looked at the sprites, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. But yeah, overall, I just love everything about Press Garden. Really, like, it just makes me want a game like this with like entirely original zones.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Bosses.
Boss one was kind of whatever. I mean, it was good. I like how they show you what to do at the start.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
Mm.
You know what that boss reminded me of? The Act 1 boss in I don't know if it's Act 1 or 2 is for Carnival Night,
Wait,
where that little drill, like it has like a little drill,
Yeah.
oh,
and then
dick.
it comes out
Yeah,
and it
the
hits
dick.
the yeah. That reminded me of that one a lot, and I'm pretty sure that's where they got it from, to be quite honest. But
It's a bit similar.
yeah, that one was really cool. But like you said, it is cool that they show you what to do in the beginning.
Like, if you're
Does.
paying attention, because it happens really quickly. You just
Yeah.
see it like spazzing out. Like, what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
I didn't pay attention, so I was like, what the hell do I do? And I just tried to cheese it by using invincibility. Like, invincibility frames.
Well, that's what I do in most of the
You can
bosses
do that
anyway.
with
I
a
just
lot of
kind of
bosses.
reckless, just kill it as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Unless you're super, in which case you just kind of sit there.
And then Act 2 introduced the second hardboiled heavy, the Shinobi one.
Oh god,
This boss fight was really cool, I think.
This one put me down because I
no
did
pun
not
intended.
know. God damn it. This one put me down a little bit because I just didn't know what to do at the start. But then all of a sudden I hit it whenever it was spinning, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what.
Yeah, it's like, why does it keep anti-airing me?
And I didn't know you can destroy the stupid stars that he puts on the ground. Just like
Mhm.
jumping
I
on.
didn't know that
Yep.
until Juan told me.
I just spin dash through them because they get in the way. Or you can just let them freeze you,
Yeah,
because
I
he won't
just
take damage.
jumped.
Yeah. Because if you let him freeze attack you, he jumps again, and he won't
Yeah.
throw stars if there are stars already there.
Yeah.
So that's when he's very easy to attack.
It was definitely a difficult boss for like if it's your first time playing like a classic Sonic game like
Yeah.
that, that's
Yeah.
definitely probably
It'll
one of the
throw
hardest.
you off.
bosses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was strange with that boss because the first time I played through the game, I beat him in no time. Like I completely destroyed that boss. I was like, wow, that was very underwhelming for a hard-boiled heavy. Second time I played, oh hell no, that dude took like 7 lives from me, and I was honestly, like, I don't know what it was. Like he took 7 lives from me, and I was so happy that I stocked up 18. I went to 11. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that boss put me down probably like once or twice, but then after I found out, it's just like, oh, okay, that's fine. And then we have probably my favorite zone in the entire game.
The
actually.
transition is great.
Oh,
You
that
see,
transition.
Like, Eggman in the
Nice.
distance working on like a machine, and you see Metal Sonic in the projection. It's like, oh, that's sick, because you like knew what was gonna happen at that point.
Bro.
I love that the game added that though. Like the whole transition scenes is just
Oh, it's so-
amazing.
I
That's
wish
so
there was
dope.
like more though, because like Flying Battery doesn't have one for Press Card. Well, like I feel like there's the reason why some are missing as is because of the zones that they didn't add in that they wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were like, you know what, we got nothing. It's like, oh, okay.
Wait, for the ones that they didn't do transitions with, or was that it wasn't just the newer ones, right?
No,
There's a few of
they didn't do one
There are a
for
couple.
Hydro.
Yeah.
They didn't do
Okay.
one for. Wait, did they do one?
I'm
for
glad they
Sonic?
did it because that was
Oh,
a big
okay, we'll get to that when we get to it. But
Yeah.
my favorite zone of the game, Stardust Speedway. I was not expecting to love this zone as much as I did. That zone was fucking fire.
Oh my goodness. That is the most chill soundtrack.
Yeah.
like, the
one.
entire-
Oh my
Mm.
god.
That's
One
probably
is
my
nice.
Act 1 is so like, oh man, I don't know.
That is my favorite fucking song in the entire game so far. That shit is so nice. Just the gimmicks, it's just like you're never slowing down. Like it's just everything about that zone is just so nice.
Nice Marble Garden reference.
And then that,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, the Metal Sonic boss fight confused the shit out of me because
Yep.
I honestly thought that you were supposed
that's
to
cool.
juggle.
I didn't
that
know
shit.
there wasn't a boss for the first one either.
Oh, which one? Oh,
You jumped to boss.
oh, that's cool.
Can't be forgetting about the
yeah, the-
Hotaru High Watt.
Oh,
it
yeah,
was really basic.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, basic. Yeah. But the Metal Sonic boss fight.
Damn! Give
My
the
man
boss
really
some
wants
credit,
to
bro.
get
Yeah. So the Metal Sonic boss fight.
Put some
Oh,
respect on that bee's name. It's not a bee. It's a glowfly, right?
Fucking, I forgot what the
Yeah.
fucking stupid thing is called.
Firefly.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
Firefly.
it's ridiculously fast boss too. Like you can beat that one in like no time because a lot of
Yeah,
people don't know that if
it's
you
still-
just attack the batnits, like the little
Yeah,
firefly
it gets rid of
batnits,
them quicker.
Yeah. it brings the boss in faster.
Yeah.
Now, impatient
Okay.
ass.
Shut up.
And another thing about Act 1's boss is that no, just kidding.
God damn it. You're fucking dumb.
I was
Nah,
about-
but just quick, like with the Act 2 boss, I just did not know what to do because that second part where the Silver Sonics just came through, I was so confused because I was like, do I have
Wait. I actually have one more thing to add about Act 1.
Oh, go ahead.
So, a lot of the bosses I feel in this game, it's like, especially, it's only really a problem with Sonic, I feel, because Sonic or Tails, because they stand still a lot. Like, a lot of the bosses you can beat them, like, instantly because they just don't move or do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, what is it? Firefly, is it? Yeah. You can get like maybe 3 hits in before it starts. Then you start the fight, it comes down. Before it starts its laser, you can get 2 in, and you can like get hit, and beat it right there with invincibility frames.
Yeah, that is a lot of the bosses in that fucking game.
Yeah, it's a lot of them. They're either really weird or they just stand still a lot. It's like, but it was okay, I think.
Yeah. Before I even get to the Act 2's boss, like the level design for Act 2 is actually pretty nice too. That fucking transition they do to get to Act 2 is so
That
nice.
was
So cool.
straight fan
So
service.
cool.
It was so nice though.
Those plants still threw me off. Like
Yeah.
I
those
knew
are
there
cool.
was plants in what was it, the past one, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But like I just they remind me of the piranha plants from Mario. Like I just didn't expect those. Yeah, that's about it.
Okay, yeah.
Mm.
Act 2's level design was nice. It was Act 2 was actually really short until you got to the boss.
Yeah.
And then,
the
uh,
boss takes
Well, the
most-
boss made up for the shortness of Act 2, so
Oh, yeah, that is true.
He has 3 phases, and I like how it's him stepping on like the animal, the robot generator callback.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And,
He just flies in and he does the little finger waggle. Sup, dude?
the second phase of that boss threw me the fuck off because I was sitting there like, do I really have to juggle these things? And like,
Oh my
because,
goodness.
Yeah.
because that boss really like no boss that I played in Sonic never taught me to spin dash into any of them, so I just never knew. But then
I
like, once
juggled 2 hits into that, and I was like, "There's gotta be an easier way to
An
do
easier
this."
way.
I
Yeah.
told it was all you guys. In fact, I was like, just spin dash into him. It's like,
Well, you said they auto aimed into it, and I did
yeah,
that. They did not auto.
if you only rev it once, it auto aims into it. But if you're Supersonic, you're just out of luck. You legit cannot like rev it well. Like it'll
No,
always
as-
overshoot it.
Yeah,
I think.
As
you have to,
as
like,
Supersonic,
you have to go
Okay,
all
so
the
as-
way back. Oh, go
yeah.
ahead.
So basically, as the regular characters, you do 1 rev when it's in the middle, but as the super characters, you do 1 rev when it's on the side,
Yeah.
Oh, that's really weird.
because their spin dashes are faster, I assume.
Yeah.
Oh, taking a quick step back to the level design of Act 2.
Mhm.
One thing I've always loved about Stardust Speedway is that it kind of reminds me, just the way that it's engineered, it kind of reminds me of like a musical instrument, like a trumpet, like
Yes.
the inner
Yeah.
workings of a trumpet and how all the tubes are kind of
Yeah.
intertwining and all over the place. And I always just thought that was really cool, and just visually it's a spectacular level.
Mhm.
I love the background, just the night sky
yeah.
and stuff. It's so cool.
All the backgrounds, like just the sprite work in general is just phenomenal. It's all really good. It's very clean.
So nice.
Yeah,
I
you
also
really-
like. Oh my bad. Go ahead.
You really notice the sort of evolution in the visuals when you
Yeah.
focus on the backgrounds. You know, the improved widescreen, the 60 FPS, the greater sense of sort of parallax scrolling, parallax depth to the backgrounds really kind of brings each of the zones to life a lot more. And I think that's really noticeable in Stardust Speedway.
Especially with the Metal Sonic boss, because when you get to the 3rd phase,
Oh, I thought I was gonna die if I spikes in the back. Like that would have made it one of the hardest bosses.
Yeah, if you
Easily.
would have insta-died from that, that would have been a lot harder, but it actually makes the boss a lot easier from just getting hit. Collect the rings, get the
Yeah,
invincibility
because it
frames.
collects
Yep.
like the rings stick on the spike, so it's like there's really no way to lose in that phase. I think.
And there are
Yeah.
rings on that actual stage too. So
Yeah,
it's
too.
But like, I love the background because you're spinning up
Oh
the
yeah,
whole
going
time.
around the Eggman Tower.
it's like
Yeah,
the Sonic
that
Rush
was so
boss.
cool.
Except the Sonic Rush boss didn't. Except that boss didn't take as long as the Sonic Rush boss.
Yeah,
Sonic
Yeah.
Rush boss takes nice and 5
At
minutes
least-
minimum.
Fucking 10 years.
I was just about to say 10 years too.
So
God
what's the
damn.
transition from there to
There
there?
was no transition. This is where I
Yeah,
got
see?
hyped as shit. I'm not gonna lie. I looked down. I heard it. I was like, shit. Like, don't do this to me. I ran laps around my apartment, bro.
Yeah, I wasn't paying any neither because I was tweeting about how great how much I enjoyed Stardust Speedway, like how much more I thought I would. It's like, oh, and I look up because I hear the music. I was like, just losing my mind.
Dude, let me tell you how great this game was, because I'm one of the few people here that actually avoided all spoilers. Like, I'm talking about, I didn't even watch the gameplay of Studiopolis. Like, I had no idea what the level looked like at all. I just heard the music, and that was it. But going through with no spoilers, and then you just hear the I was like, wow, I didn't expect it, because usually they don't give us what we want.
That's what bro. I
You
lost.
guys didn't want Green Hill.
I lost.
Oh,
my-
dude, of course I wanted Green Hill. We should probably start saying we want Green Hill so we
that
don't
way
get
we
it.
don't fucking get it.
Yeah. No, but Hydro City was that was dope.
Bro.
To hear that again, that was insane.
I looked
I
down.
think
I heard
The
it.
remix for I think it's 1 is kind of weak, like Flying Battery 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Like
Hydro,
it's not much different.
yeah, like the Hydro City music really isn't that much different. It's just the instruments just make this thing sound so much.
It pops
fucking
out
better.
more.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's so bold, so it pops out a lot
Yeah.
more, stands out
It's
more.
cleaner. It sounds higher quality, but
That's
in general, it's just not that much different.
I
that's
will
the
admit-
recurring theme.
Go ahead.
That's the recurring theme with the Sonic 3 and Knuckles
yeah,
music. I feel.
all of them, I believe, have that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like T-Lopes must have just thought, you know what?
they already
These
sound good
tracks
enough.
are so good. I'm just gonna kind of buff up the instruments a bit.
My favorite Batnik is in that stage as well.
The Rhino,
Jaws
I knew
Batnik.
it. Oh,
Oh my goodness.
I will admit though, probably the weakest zone in the game though.
I think so.
I hate
think
to admit it, but it's the
My
weakest zone. In the game.
favorite. It feels like just replaying it right now. It's not so bad if you get the canoe route, which I do like that they added, but I don't know. It just doesn't feel as good as the first one is to play, like the original.
But
Just it's
Mhm.
fun, but it's compared to the like everything else redone and like the newer stages, it definitely sticks out. Like
Yeah.
but
it could have been better.
see. I say weakest zones in the game, but they're probably my favorite bosses in the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was about the bosses are phenomenal
Yeah,
on that.
Probably my favorite bosses in the entire game.
The first one is so cool. Dive Eggman. I like
Dude,
how if you
That
take a
was so
certain
cool.
path, you can see him like swimming up like the
Mm-hmm.
windows next to you. It's like, what is he doing? It's just great.
This shit is so.
Before we get into the Act 2's boss, I don't know if anyone noticed, but there was a Batnik in that stage that was always very wonky, and that it finally got fixed this time around. I don't know if it was just me, but
Is it the one that sits on the ocean floors and they shoot upward?
no. It's the one that shoots that little spike, like the snail one that shoots the
Oh,
spike
yeah,
through
I
out
know
of
which
its
one you're
back.
talking about.
Remember
Yeah.
how it always shot that off super early in the very first one, and this time it actually waits for you. And it actually times it well enough to where you would actually probably get hit.
Get hit, yes.
But back then in Hydro City, like you would just sometimes before you even get there, you would just see the thing fly through. You're like, where'd that come from? Like it would just happen out of nowhere. But this time, they actually fixed that little thing. That was pretty dope. All right, now we can get back to boss 2.
Boss 2. Boss 2 was pretty fun.
I like how mobile it was. It's like, especially if you have a bubble shield, like it feels really fun.
Fucking
Mhm.
Because even if you like don't have one, it feels, I guess, a bit more like hectic because you always gotta hit them and get the bubble in time. Because if you miss
Yeah.
like one, like that's at most what you get to
Yeah.
survive.
The annoying thing about that boss though is that if you get hit, you can't get your rings back.
Yep.
You just have to kind of deal with it. Like you just can't get hit again. But I did like how the second part of that boss was essentially a callback to the Hydra City Act
Yeah.
1 boss from
I
Sonic.
don't
Yeah.
mind the second because I noticed that the second boss has 8 hits, which is really strange.
Did the first one
Mhm.
have 6? Oh yeah, because it was a mini boss. Never mind, I'm stupid.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you are.
Well, no, I mean like the second part of that second boss
Yeah,
has
that,
8.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, because the first
It's
one
really
had
weird.
6 back then.
Well, it either has 6 or 8, but I think it's still a bit weird considering you do that first section anyway.
Yeah.
I just saw the name for that boss. The second one.
Yeah, you know
Laundro
what?
Mobile.
Laundro Mobile. Yeah.
What? That's funny. Alright, so we went from
What
Hydro
was,
City.
what was the transition here? No, there was
There
none.
was
because
no
the plane-
transition to that one
See,
either.
like things like that, I would have. I want to see how they find Knuckles and get on the plane, but no, you don't.
Yeah.
I mean, he's there for 2 seconds anyway, but still.
Now there's
And he gets
technically
whacked off.
There's technically 3 levels for this one. Mirage Saloon Act 1 as Sonic and Tails, and Act 1 as Knuckles.
I don't like how they did Sky Chase again, but it's short, so it's fine.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Like,
hated
I thought
Sky
the
Chase in
train
Sonic
was really cool, so I wish that they did it more of that, but it's whatever.
You know what? I'll say this right now. That's probably my least favorite boss of the game. The Act 1 one. Alright.
It's going back. It's finicky. It feels like you had to hit it early. You have to aim at the head earlier than you think you would, unless they're coming at the side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really awkward to hit him if he's coming from the foreground or background.
I thought it was interesting since well, I didn't like the boss, to be honest. Like I thought it was nothing. Like it was like eh. The only thing I thought that was cool was that this game brought a lot of enemies that, well, the annoying enemies, I should say, because it's gonna happen again later on, and I can't wait till we get to this act. That the bosses are the annoying little batnicks that would usually hit you. So, for example, like Stardust Speedway was the Firefly that usually a lot of people had a hard time killing because they couldn't get the timing right to hit it, and then the Caterpillar one that
Yeah, you have to roll into it.
Yup, and
Sonic
if you
one.
didn't, it would blow up into a bunch of pieces. Which I like how that's how it dies too in this. So that's cool.
I like one thing. I know you haven't played Act 1 of Knuckles', but the worm that he drops at the beginning, like the Caterpillar, it's
Mhm.
Knuckles' boss.
Yeah, I saw that in a video, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's Knuckles' boss.
That's
So
dope.
I will say,
Sonic got one and he got one.
I will say, with Act 1 for Knuckles, I like how it's kind of like what I wanted a Knuckles level to be, like in 3D games, where it utilizes his abilities because you are
Yeah.
climbing and gliding a lot in that level. And I love it. I love that
I
level
love the
to death.
music.
Yeah, the music sounds like something.
Oh yes.
Like it could be like an
It's
SA2
so
or
nice.
something like that. Like it sounds
Mhm.
so nice.
I don't really. I mean, the first one's okay for Mirage Saloon, like Sonic's, but like Knuckles' is really good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Act
Oh,
is-
one thing about Knuckles' level that I really liked is the start of it,
uh-huh.
where you're going down those kind of barrel things, but if you're quick, you go through the breakable walls that Knuckles has, and you go through a few of those, and you get
There's
to a
a big
special
ring.
ring.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. I did find that one. Yeah, I'm stupid.
Yes.
Shut
Yeah.
up. Leave me alone. Let me have this.
Definitely a really well kind of engineered level
The
for Knuckles.
transition, especially for you don't see it if you're Knuckles. You don't see the transition, but
No, you just
from
start
Act 1 to Act 2, that transition
boy.
needs to relax.
After playing Sonic the Fighters a lot back then, I saw that shit and got fucking hyped as hell. That shit was ridiculous.
That was so cool.
Juan saw my fucking reaction to that shit. I
I
almost
was waiting
died.
for. I was like, hurry up and stream so I can see what you're gonna say. Cause he got Bark, I think, and he was like, "Oh, bitch!" I was like, "Oh, yep."
I was actually
Cause like I got to that section and I was like I just felt my heart rate increase when I got to fucking. Cause I saw Bean first and I was like,
I saw
Yeah, I saw Fang. My first
Yeah, I got
time.
Fang as well.
I remember me and Juan were actually texting each other when it happened because he texted me initially saying, oh, like, please tell me, are you at Mirage Saloon Act 2? And I told him, yeah. And he told me, boy. And then, like, I remember he just said, boy. And then when I got there, I texted him back. I was like, there's no way. Like, that was so fucking cool. So I guess that transitions to the next heavy that we fight, which is the magician.
The magician.
Oh, wait. One thing. The
Uh-huh.
transition. Okay, so Juan and I got this glitch on the transition
Yeah, yeah.
bit. When they get
Act
back on the
1,
tornado.
For some reason on
into
Act 1, no. It starts from Act 1, and the boss
Yeah.
fight, for some reason, Knuckles just hops back onto the plane. And if you complete
just-
the boss fight, he stays on the plane with you for
Yep.
the next transition. So the plane crashes, and Knuckles is still sitting on the plane when it crashes.
legs to the side, just chilling,
He's
and he's
just
just
chilling.
there.
He has no care in the world. He was ready.
Boy, just out here. Boy, I saw them bosses and I was just like, bro, like, bitch. That's literally all I said.
Like, definitely for people that know those characters, like from Sonic the Fighters and something, like it's pretty crazy because like you don't expect all of them. You only think it's gonna be one because you only saw one. But then you see the entire, I guess they're called Team Hooligan.
Yeah.
You see the entire Team Hooligan. It's like, oh, that's really cool.
And it fits so well with Mirage Saloon's like
Yeah, the whole
outlaw
Mirage
kind
thing.
of
Yeah.
Well, Mirage and the whole Western outlaw
Yeah.
kind of thing, especially with the wanted posters of
Yeah, of all of them.
Fang. Oh, that was so cool. Well, I mean, for me, I saw Fang's first. So I saw the wanted
Right.
poster of that one. I was like, no fucking way. That was so cool.
I do like the second act though. It's really good. Like it's really fun to play through.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the guns and like the water that you can run on. It's cool.
Really well designed.
The thing I found weird about that act though is that up to this point in the game, you're kind of used to the acts being like, if you're running through normally, you're used to all the acts being about 4 or 5 minutes.
That
The
one was
Mirage
really
Saloon, yeah, Mirage Saloon is like 2.5, and it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, this act
Yeah.
is really fun. I wish it was longer.
Like I said, we can't have nice
Wait,
things.
hold on.
man.
Oh, they were trying to let you recover from that heart attack by giving you another one in 2 minutes. Like,
Hold
Oh
on.
yes.
Give me 1 second. Stream is like spazzing out.
sure thing, Robo Dom.
Metal Domic.
Well, people in the chat are saying it's fine.
Oh no, I'm getting a buffering signal.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh,
Okay.
that's what's next.
Okay, we're good.
Oh
I think-
man.
For the transition, right? They jump into the gun and they get shot off into oil ocean.
Oh my god.
That is the most powerful gun ever.
That gun shot him so fucking far.
All right, I have to. Like, I just gotta say, I know a lot of you guys in the chat are gonna hate me, but Sonic 2 being one of my favorite Sonic games, Oil Ocean was my favorite fucking level in that whole game. And seeing Oil Ocean come back, bro, I lost my fucking shit. That was my biggest pop off of 2017.
I didn't mind Oil Ocean coming back. I in fact wanted it to because I wanted to see how they could make it like better and like what they would do to the music. And they did really good, like especially Act 2. It's so nice.
It was
Active.
so good, man. Everything, the just Act 1's okay. Let me, hold on.
Hey, the
I'll
Badniks
just
is
stick it
still
in.
a fucking bitch though.
Oh yes.
They're less annoying than they are in Sonic 2.
You know
There's
what
a
it
few
is?
reasons for that.
There's less seahorses.
Yes.
Fewer seahorses, and they telegraph their attacks better.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
of the improved sprite work. Like, they have a little angry face when they're about to shoot you, and you hear the noise from Sonic 3 where it goes boop when they fire that thing.
Oh my, Oil Ocean coming back was like that. That was so fucking cool for me. Like I said, I popped off so hard. Everything about the level I love. I love all the improvements they made to the level. Like,
Yes.
and they added like little things to it too that were just so dope. For example, like if you have a fire shield and
Fire
you're going
shield.
down the oil, everything sets on fire. That is so cool.
And I also just found out that's why some Zombie Johnny's in the credits. Because he made
That's
Huh?
cool.
Did he
Yeah.
propose the idea?
No, he made an animation originally when he made his Sonic 2 review.
Yeah.
It was Sonic sitting over the oiled and he throws
Oh,
a match
yes.
into it.
I remember.
Yeah. And that's why he's in the credits.
That's why they got the idea. It's really
It's
cool.
fantastic.
First boss though,
Oh my goodness.
I didn't even get to see what it did the first time. Like
I
I
saw
was
it.
watching Dominic and I saw it throw a wrench and I was like, huh, I could do that.
Oh, okay. Really quick on that. Speaking of not seeing what a boss does, I never saw. Going back to Mirage Saloon, I didn't mean to go back, but I never saw what Bark did.
He slams his fist down
Yeah,
and
he
it
slams-
like
Yeah, it's
rubbish
like it's
falling
kind of like
everywhere.
how he does in Sonic the Fighters.
Okay, I just needed to know. I didn't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that boss was in Oil Ocean Act 1. That was like the weakest boss. I liked how the boss looked because I originally started laughing when I first saw it. I was all like, who does this? Like
Alright.
like why who gives a robot overalls? Like the worst thing you could do. Like,
Right.
he has overalls, but then I don't know. But yeah, that boss is super weak. You can beat that thing in like a few seconds. Not even that hard.
And then Act 2, I like the Sanopolis gimmick better than the actual Sanopolis gimmick.
I love
Act
the
two.
submarines.
Yes.
The submarines are
Act
such a
two.
nice touch to it.
Act 2 where the Act 1 boss explodes. And I actually like how they introduced that gimmick from the get-go. After the boss
Mhm.
explodes
yeah.
and the fog builds,
see it.
you slide down and you grab the switch immediately, clearing the smog.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
I like how it doesn't kill you though. Like it just gets rid of your rings.
Yeah, it
but
drains
like
your
if
rings.
you get to zero, it'll just stop. It won't like straight up just kill you.
Thank God.
Yeah, that was good. Oh my god, I hated it in Sanopolis.
Then the boss, which I will admit it put me down a few times, but you
It
literally
killed
just
me
have
a
to.
few times.
You have to have patience. That boss is literally it's free to me now, but you just have to have patience.
I died
Yeah.
twice.
Mm-hmm. Twice is
But,
pretty good.
Twice is pretty good, yeah.
I died like 4 times.
Yeah, I died
same.
twice because I was like how Dominic said, you gotta be patient.
One
so
thing
the-
I don't like though is that you sink in the oil quicker. So when the thing pulls the platforms down, like the robot,
you could
you
you
just
can get
die.
killed.
You just die. Like if you're on those platforms.
Like I said, it's that reoccurring thing that they had where all the little annoying little batnicks that they had in the stages, like the octopuses and the seahorses were definitely really annoying. I'm glad I didn't see no damn seahorse boss, because
Oh,
boy.
yes.
But the octopus was also relatively annoying too, because sometimes a lot of playthroughs I see of Sonic 2 when people get to Oil Ocean, I see a lot of times people will try to guess the jump of when the octopus is gonna jump to shoot,
Oh, yeah.
and they would just jump and the thing jumps as soon as they do, and they get popped, and that shit's so funny.
I'm not gonna
But
lie, I cheesed the hell out of that boss. As soon as it came up, I hit it 4 times, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
yeah, it's you can cheese the boss, but it's if you're fighting it normally, again, if it's your first time playing a classic Sonic game and you start with Mania, I think that boss would have probably,
Put you the fuck
if you didn't get a game over from the Heavy Shinobi, I think you would have got it from that one.
Yeah. Anything else?
Or Metal
on
Sonic,
Ocean?
actually. I love it. Thank God.
It's
I really like it
made
as well.
better. Yeah, it's made better than the original. I'll say that, and I do like the music a lot. But the bosses could have been tweaked a bit.
The Act 2 music sounds a lot like something out of Shantae.
Yeah. That's what I got out of it whenever I first heard it.
Yeah.
Nice songs. by the
That's
way.
waste.
Then we get to probably the zone that threw me the fuck off as why is in here. Fucking Metallic Madness.
They even-
No, we don't.
they didn't have a
No, we get to
transition.
it's Lava Reef.
Oh,
Lava
Lava Reef. Yeah, that's right. Okay.
Which they also didn't have a transition for, I believe.
Yeah.
No. Okay, yes. Lava Reef, then Metallic Madness. My bad. Okay, Lava Reef.
Act 1
weakest-
remix tweak.
Weakest remix in the game. Act 1. Act 2's is pretty good though. Trying to figure out.
In terms of the stage itself, I wasn't too big on the original Lava Reef, but I like this one a fair bit more, I feel.
Yeah.
You definitely have to be careful. You definitely have those sections of sort of clunky step-like platforming, particularly near the early sections of the level. But for the most part, I feel like it was definitely improved. It actually reminds me a bit more of a Sonic 2 level, where it's about kind of tackling the level at a more steady pace with little bits of speed here and there, rather than a Sonic 3 where it's like, you know, you get those sections where there's a lot of speed, and then you get sections where you just kind of slow down, and it has interesting platforming gimmicks.
Huh.
Hmm. I don't know. To be quite honest, even back then, I'm not a huge fan of Lava Reef Zone. I never really liked it that much. I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting for back then they had that hand boss. Like it was the first act ones, I believe, right?
Oh,
Where,
smack the shit out of you.
Yeah, that one. I thought that was a little cool because as a kid, I always had a curiosity of like, where's the rest of them? Like, there has to be more to it. And then, but then even then, the only thing I ever liked from Lava Reef was just the music. I never really had fun with the zone.
Personally one of my favorites, 3 Knuckles, so I was really excited to see it back. I don't know, it feels really good. I think I like playing as Knuckles a bit more just because I like his route a bit more, even though it's a bit weird because there's like a bombless pit on Act 2. But yeah, I like the Hidden Palace remix is amazing. Like also known as Lava Reef Act 2. It's so good.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Nice ass remix.
Boss ones was. I didn't like the actual one.
I didn't like that one.
I mean, it wasn't too bad, but it was just whatever.
Yeah, it was...
Act 2, Sonic and Knuckles had different bosses for the Act 2.
Yeah.
So Act 1 was the heavy.
Heavy Rider and the Heavy King.
Yeah.
Yep. Heavy Rider, I have a problem with it. It feels like the hitbox to like actually hit him and not bump the fucking whatever it's called, the moto bug. It feels so like narrow. Like you have to jump perfectly to hit him, and he just kind of moves around a lot.
Yeah. And then the heavy, I mean not heavy. And then
it also feels like with him though, like they didn't have a stage to put him in because he doesn't get any like Act 1 presence at all.
Yeah.
So it feels like they just kind of like, let's just throw him in here. Cause like I definitely remember asking Doom, what was the boss for Act 2, and we were just sitting there for like a few minutes not knowing what the hell it was. Because it was like that forgettable.
The level changing transition to that boss was kind of cool because like it like you see the background slowly changing into like as if they were mining in there and stuff like that. So like it made sense when the boss came in, like how the background looked, because if they just put that there, that would have been so weird. Like, but I'm glad the level itself had the transition of like it looks like people are working down here and stuff like that. It's really cool.
I like the cutscene for Knuckles' boss.
Oh, I love it.
When he's
really
about
fun.
to fight him, and he just looks at the Master of being taken. He's like, "Wait a minute, I've seen this before."
The saddest thing is though, that one cutscene has done more for that character than anything in 10 years.
I know, and it's just like, no, not in my 94, nope.
Not in mine. That's crazy.
Not in my 94. You taking this shit again? Nope.
No, but that boss was probably the biggest offender of sitting around. Well, at least for Knuckles, because he can actually reach him. Like a lot of the ones, the thing about them sitting around is that he can't even reach those ones anyway.
Yeah.
But like with this one, you can reach him really easily because you can hop on the Emerald podiums, and I don't know, he stays still too much. He doesn't really do much with the Master Emerald besides like shoot lasers that only hit the ground anyway. You're only going to be on the podiums because there's really no reason to jump down. So it's like, I don't know, they could have done more, like made it a bit harder because it was just too easy, I think.
Alright, before we actually get to the next one, the song is playing right now, and we forgot to talk about this, but Blue Spear, real quick, how'd you guys like that as a returning bonus stage?
I was hyped this shit.
Nah, I'm part of the crowd that wasn't too big on.
Yeah,
Blue
you all
Spears.
don't like it, but I was hyped as shit.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about
I'm not
Blue
too
Spears.
crazy about it, yeah.
I thought it was just like
I
saw
him.
and I was like, oh, they brought Blue Spears.
I like him, and I was like, oh shit, they finally brought these back. But then I just suck at him. I don't hate him or anything.
It's just been so long. Like I was so tired of the stupid half pipe, so it was just refreshing to see the Blue Spheres again, even if they did reuse like some of them. So just like, oh, it's nice. And I like how they give you bonuses, like actually like for at least completing them, because you don't even need the gold for them.
Yeah, just the silver. Thank God. I already
like
got
the
half
stuff
of
that
them.
you get is really cool. So
When do you get the Me Bee Machine game?
I have no.
You have no.
Yeah, I
clue?
forget how many.
Yeah, because I know for 16 you get the debug mode. That's all I remember.
No, I think that's all of them. Is that you get the mean bean?
I don't think so.
I know if you get all of them,
Might be
you
like
get the
20
actual-
or-
It's really close.
If you-
Yeah.
No,
yeah,
no.
It's
If you
not
get
all-
all of them, you get the actual
the
Blue Sphere one,
game.
right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And then it might be just like way before then.
Yeah.
Probably like the next row of Blue Spheres that you beat.
I think the thing that bothers me about Blue Spheres in this game is actually just the fact that they're
The
A
only
bonus
bonus
stage?
Yeah.
yeah, especially because they typically take quite a while and they kind
Yeah.
of disrupt the flow of the
It's-
levels.
It's not like 3 Ks where you go in, grab a shield, get out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like because pretty much in my first couple of playthroughs, I tried to avoid those as much as possible until I wanted to kind of grind out the Blue Sphere stages and get the extra goodies from beating them
Mm-hmm.
because they really break up the flow of
Yeah.
already fairly long levels.
I wish they kept the original Get Blue Balls thing for the Super Big. Oh, that would have been hilarious.
That would've been fantastic.
All right, so after Lava Reef, then it was Metallic Madness.
No transition to that one either.
Yeah,
right?
there's no transition
Yeah.
to that
See,
one.
they definitely could have added a lot.
That zone threw me the
In
fuck
that one,
off.
you know what they could have done too? They could have shown you walking into the factory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, am I mistaken? Is Act 1's remix US and then Act 2's Japan, or am I just like
I'm not.
I'm
I
not
don't-
too sure on that one.
But I know Act 1's music is fucking A+.
Yeah.
Yeah, that the remixes are good. I don't know what to think about that.
I
level,
think they're
though.
both fun.
I like it.
I think they're both fantastic.
I like Metallic Madness, but I just like.
I liked it more than I thought.
Yeah, there you go. I liked it. way
Same
more
with
than-
Stardust. Like, I didn't expect to like the CD stages that much because I was like, oh, great.
I wasn't expecting.
You have
to
two
see-
of them. It's like, oh no,
Yeah,
they're better than I imagined.
I was not expecting that stage whatsoever.
I wasn't either.
It's like, oh, I'm having a great time with this. And it's like the boss. I like the first boss because it's just Sonic 1, and then they do that little thing at the end. Doesn't make it any harder, but it's cool, I guess. But
Okay, I found out. Act 1 is Japan past. Act 2 is Japan present.
yeah,
That makes sense.
Okay, that's
we
cool
don't
shit.
need the
though.
US ones.
I do miss Japan's Bad Future. I love that track.
Oh,
I think it's so
yeah.
goofy sounding.
You know,
Shame it's not in this too.
I'm just so glad they didn't bring back Wacky Workbench. Thank God.
I would have wanted Cork's
Quartz?
Quadrant.
Yes. Oh my
That would've
God, I would have
that's
loved
what I want
fucking-
to for the music. What is it? Is it good present?
Present, yeah.
Yeah, that song is.
Yeah, I like that one too. I personally also like Tidal Tempest, but I don't think that would have. I don't think that's one that
I
people
don't
like
think
a lot.
another water level. Yeah. Oh, I
Yeah.
would have
Yeah.
wanted it for the music though. 'Cause that
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
oh, the music is so good.
Yeah.
Both of the tracks actually are really good. Idle Tempest tracks.
I forgot which ones. I think it's the Japanese one's the one I like the most. So it was like dun 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 dun. The really like chill one. Then that one-
I think
don't
that's
know if that
Japanese.
was. Yeah, I think that's the Japanese one.
Yeah.
I like that one the most.
Remind me, what was Act 1's boss for Metallic Man?
It was the final
the
boss
Sonic-
of Sonic 1.
Oh yeah,
Piston
you're
Mark
right.
II.
Yeah, that's right.
And I like that one.
Yeah,
The Egg Piston Mark II, that was cool.
I liked it. Yeah. And
That was
then
great.
Act 2
This-
is actually pretty interesting.
It's Konami.
Yeah, the fucking
This-
like the Amy reference and the Sonic 2 boss fight and shit. That shit was fun.
I was curious and I decided to see how many I could get on screen as once. So I picked Tails and I kept touching the thing. You can get all of them on screen as once. It's just a fucking mess.
Ew.
I think the thing about Metallic Madness, I think it was a great choice because it makes a really good kind of penultimate zone, especially
Mhm.
because it has those elements of Scrap Brain. It has that Sonic 1 final boss. It has the buzzsaws from Scrap Brain as well.
Yes.
Just the elements. I think it serves its purpose really well as kind of the final returning stage of the
precursor.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the final.
The only other stage that I felt would have really been fitting in this instance
Death
would have been
Egg.
Death Egg from Sonic
From
3 and
3 and
Knuckles.
Knuckles. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
that's what I wanted, but they did all right with the Metallic Madness, so I can't be too upset.
Anything else on Metallic?
Better than
What
I
was
thought.
the boss 2?
That's the
second
one where you did the pachinko, where you touch the knob and
yeah,
it drops
okay.
down.
With the
I
Sonic.
remember that one. I did not like that one.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I thought it was.
Yeah,
Like,
same.
It was funny, but like as
It
of
was really easy for being that late.
yeah, that's what that got me. I was all like,
Yeah.
you know, for being this late in the game, I feel like they should definitely amp up the bosses. So, but you know, I guess not.
All right, and then we go to the final area, the one
Ugh.
where
Put a lot of people
put
down.
a lot of us down. Titanic Monarch.
Ooh, the music, man.
Oh, the
It's
music,
The music
nice.
is
of this
phenomenal,
It really
incredible.
gives off that final zone vibe.
and you know what? And it's good to have a final zone that actually has some difficulty to it.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah,
it is very good to have that because I don't to be honest, music wise, I love Act 2's way more than the
I love
first
them
one.
both.
Yeah,
I love Act 1's more. I just love the harpsichord that goes on in the
Yeah.
background and the
yeah.
energy.
And it's funny too. That level really didn't put me down until Act 2, where we got
Act
those yellow
2.
things.
Act 2. Oh my
It's because they
goodness.
move up so quickly
Yeah, it was
that you're
so
gonna
fast.
get crushed. Yeah,
Don't use
I got
Super
crushed
Sonic.
like twice.
Don't
It's really I got crushed twice there. Sonic.
don't, don't use Super
really
Sonic in that area. Please.
I do like what they did with Act 2. Like it doesn't straight up tell you, which is kind of annoying, but like it's like a maze and you have to go through every path in a specific way
Yeah,
to unlock the final boss.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Timing out was the thing.
Yeah,
oh,
I,
yeah.
I definitely took a lot of time in that one, but at least I think the time resets for that boss. I'm
Yeah,
not too-
the certain bosses, the time does reset.
yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, Act 1's boss was a big throwback. I like that one too.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
I like
the,
what they
the
did
Sonic-
with
Crimson
it,
Eye.
but you don't last long enough to see like all that.
Yeah, it's really easier.
They
It was a
put
lot
it-
easier too from the original one.
Yeah, they put it too low. Like I said, like even for
Mhm.
Knuckles, that one just doesn't last long because they just put them too low. Like it's the problem is that like, you can easily solve that by just moving them up a bit. Like that's literally it.
Yeah.
But no,
And cheesing that with the instant shield is kind of nice.
Yeah.
I think Tails just puts down a lot of bosses like,
Tails-
really quick.
Tails
well,
is actually
he's
the
meant
easy
to.
mode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's meant to.
Like, holy crap, Tails is the easy mode in this.
Yeah, comes to bosses, he'll put them down quick. The only boss I had a hard time with Tails was the heavy gunner one.
There we go, yeah. And then the final boss. As,
The Phantom Egg.
Yeah, Phantom Egg.
Yeah.
There you go.
I've never seen all the phases of the hard-boiled heavies
I've
that
never
you see.
seen Heavy Rider.
Me neither.
I have.
Yeah, I don't think
I
I
haven't
have
seen
either.
Magician.
I've
I've
seen
only
Magician.
seen
Rider.
I've only seen Shinobi and what's the other one? The
Gunner.
Gunner? Yeah,
Yeah.
Gunner. I've only seen those ones.
Magician is like a cup, like a ball in a cup thing where you have the 3 cups and it shifts them
Mhm.
around,
Oh yeah, you're right.
and then
yeah.
you have to go under the one that he's under so that you don't get hit by giant beams of death.
Yeah, I saw the Rider one, and I saw all of them. That's how long I fucking took in in the boss. But I forgot what the Rider one was. Like I remember like it being one of those ones that were
Just
easy
as
to get.
forgettable as the actual
Yeah.
fucking yeah.
Oh yes.
Just fires missiles from the background.
I like the music in
Yeah.
that fight too.
And then the supersonic boss fight.
Love the music just like the last one. The
Yeah.
music is
Yeah.
incredible.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to think about that boss though. I gotta play it again.
Underwhelming. I think it's very underwhelming.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Eggman doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I'm about to say like when
I
I
don't
played
like that. If there's gonna be 2 sections to it, make them. God, I don't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't. Okay, like if you wait long enough, he'll start charging through. But like I don't even know if that can like damage or anything because I've tried to like dash into it, but he just stops whenever I get close. So it's like
because I know the heavy king can hurt you. But
yeah, 'cause he gets rid of rings with a little blast. But that's all he does too, I think. So
Yeah,
like they needed to do more, I think.
Yeah, because I didn't know how to feel because whenever I first played it, I just literally sat there and just ran into him. I didn't even use that special thing that he had in Sonic 3 as Hypersonic.
Yeah, the boost.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you don't want to use that. It just
It
wastes your
drains rings. Yeah.
yeah. Does he even do like more damage or anything like that? Or is
No,
it
it's just to dash across and hit him from across the screen.
Oh god damn.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Hypersonic's thing in a way.
Huh.
Yeah, I think this boss would have benefited from having, at the very least, kind of like a pinch mode where he mixed up his attacks, attacked faster,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and Eggman being more of a threat.
You know, a good example for like the final boss pinches too. For I really liked Sonic Rushes because it
Yeah.
did that the attacks were a lot more intense once you were close to beating the boss.
Mhm.
And I like how they sped up the music a lot too when that stuff happens. Well, I think that would have been something cool to do with this final boss as well. But again, it's not that I didn't like this boss. It was cool to see both of them fighting amongst each other to get the.
Oh
The
yeah, I
Phantom
do
Ruby?
like that because like I didn't know the whole time that they were against each other.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That either is like, oh, that's cool that they're actually like there's like more than one threat here. But then you do the boss fight, and it's like, oh no, only one of them's kind of a threat. It's like, because as far as I'm concerned, Eggman's attack is just minor annoyance. He just kind of like
Yeah,
pushes
it
you.
just-
You,
it just
you hit
knocks
him
you back.
instantly after anyway.
And okay, that's all the levels, and we got the endings, which is the only time we will mention this.
As far
goddamn
as I'm
game.
concerned, the only canon ending to this game is the Knuckles one.
Okay, the
Yeah.
Knuckles one is fucking hilarious.
We will end with the ending with the Knuckles one because
That's
I
the
don't
canon
like
one.
the other.
Yeah,
ending.
that's the
So,
canon ending as far as
yeah.
I'm concerned.
Yeah, that is
Knuckles is-
hilarious.
Knuckles is the greatest. Knuckles will forever be
Knuckles
the best Sonic
did it.
character in
It's
history.
Knuckles, bro.
did everything on his own.
Knuckles Mania fan.
Yep.
And Knuckles.
That's why he has his own mode in the game as well.
They just knew he was that great.
that shit
Yep.
was so nice.
Because he didn't need the aid of something else. So it was all Knuckles. That's all you need to know. I guess now we ask each other our favorite
All right.
zone.
Yeah, okay, so how we're going to do this one is each of us are going to go through our top 5 favorite zones. We're not going to do music because it pretty much
Yeah.
ties into it already. But top 5 favorite zones starting with Doom.
In the game,
Yes.
Press Garden is number 1. Studiopolis is probably number 2. Chemical Plant was 3. I think Titanic Monarch is probably 4. And number 5, it's between Oil Ocean and Stardust Speedway.
Ooh, okay. Juan.
In order from least to favorite, or least to, which like,
Whichever way you want to do it.
I think it'd be better to do at least to favorite.
yeah. Least favorite is probably Hydro City. Then after that, it's probably,
Yeah, just like,
Green Hill.
wait, your top 5?
No, oh, I thought you meant like least favorite.
No.
so,
Oh,
like-
no, we're
like-
talking about like a top 5.
Yeah,
your
top
favorite stage.
5.
Oh, okay. Top 5 is Press Garden, then Mirage Saloon, then Stardust, then Metallic, then probably Studiopolis.
Okay. Which?
All right, so I guess I'll start mine from 5 to 1. So 5 is Mirage Saloon, then Press Garden, Oil Ocean, Studiopolis, and as much as the stage put me down, Titanic Monarch is probably my favorite stage in the entire game.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did tell me that. Yeah.
Yeah, I like Titanic Monarch a lot.
Ooh. All right, this is difficult. Okay, 5 to 1. Mirage, Press. I gotta think. Okay, Mirage, Press, Studiopolis. You notice how they're all original. That's a good one. I'll probably, you know what? It's a tie between Metallic and Oil Ocean is number 2, and a number 1 Stardust Speedway.
Fantastic.
Nice.
I got a question for you guys here too. And I guess this one can go for the chat as well. Would you guys like? Okay, it's gonna be a 2-part question. Like, first one is, would you guys like to see the heavies return in another game?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
And the other part was, would you mind seeing them in a 3D game, or do you want them to specifically stay in this 2D classic?
as long as they don't change. Like, I wouldn't mind them in the 3D one as long as they don't like change up like personality. I guess. I don't know if they even have personalities or whatever, but
Don't make them talk.
yeah,
No.
yeah, keep them silent.
Which is why I think I would like them to stay in this.
Yeah, I would, like I said, I wouldn't mind them being in 3D, but like if I had a choice, yeah, keep them in 2D.
I think in 3D is where they'll most likely ruin them, to be quite honest.
Oh yes.
Because anything that gets touched with 3D usually just it's buns.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, I just died, so I have no idea what anyone said. But
He was saying if would you like the hardboiled heavies to return, and would you like them to stay in 2D, or do you want them to work in 3D as well?
so I wouldn't mind seeing them in 3D. Just I don't have any confidence in the 3D.
Yeah, that's
so
pretty much what we all said.
Yeah, I just feel like in 3D that I wouldn't say they would ruin them. Like I just it's
I
more
feel
likely.
like they'd all play like the gunner boss battle, but just straight ahead. So I don't know.
If they did talk, I would want them to be like Orville and Cubot from the Sonic Boom show.
Yes.
Like I feel like that would work very well for them and have the king
Make them goofy
almost
as
like
hell.
Eggman's personality.
Yeah, like the only person to set them straight.
Yeah, and everyone else have their own like the whole Orville and Cubot thing. And I feel like that would be Ryder and Gunner would be like that.
Oh yeah. All right, so
It would definitely be Ryder.
Yeah.
all right, so pretty much, I think that is it. We're not done yet. We're going to take a few questions in the chat based on Sonic Mania and stuff like that. So if you have anything to ask any of us, just put it in the chat and we'll try to answer it to the best of our abilities. We're not going to do this for long because we got one more special thing at the end of this after we finish the Q&A. So go ahead.
Yeah, you can just at us or just say to all.
Yeah. Where would you play Sonic Mania? I want to put it after 3 and Knuckles, like right after.
Yeah.
But then there's like,
Well, what do you mean by place? Like
where you put it in the timeline, as in like the classic. game
Oh
and shit.
no, it takes place right after. Yeah.
Yeah, I
just
think it takes
Yeah.
place right
right
after.
after.
I'm just so confused as why is fucking Angel Island on the floor again.
It's because they explained it.
Oh,
It's
did they?
because the Phantom Ruby put things out of whack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
would you want a sequel to this? Hell yeah.
110%.
Only 1%. You know.
All right.
Because to me, this game is like the springboard now. Like they can definitely dive into.
Like not have Izuka touch any development. That would be fantastic because they could just do whatever they want.
Yeah, all Izuka. The only involvement that Izuka had for this was the classic levels.
Stages.
Yeah, which ones he told him to bring back. That was literally it.
Well, he wanted them to do more classic than anything.
Yeah.
So we can have an all original game after that, I guess. So
Oh, I like this one. For everyone, what stage were you sad about not being in Mania?
Mystic Cave.
Mystic Cave. I really
For
want
me,
that one back.
Go ahead, one on that.
from 1 through I guess 3 in CD. 1 Starlight, 2 probably Aquatic Ruin, 3 probably Angel Island. CD, yeah, it hurts. It hurts so bad.
Oh.
CD, trying to think. CD had a lot of weird stages. I don't know. Probably
Quartz Quadrant's probably the only one I would want.
Fourth
to see.
Quadrant. Yeah.
Either Quartz or Tidal, but I don't want another water level.
I don't want another water. Yeah.
Can I just talk about the beginning of Sonic Mania? That fucking cutscene made me so sad because it just goes from Angel Island to Green Hill, and I was just so put on tilt.
Yeah, it's so sad. Well, for me, I really wanted Aquatic Ruin, that or Emerald Hill. Emerald Hill. That's what it's
Emerald Hill,
called
yeah.
for Sonic 2. I think that would have been way better to use than. I mean, I guess for timeline's sake, you would have to use Green Hill from the first one, but I feel like for a first act, the Emerald Hill could have done very well, and even Palm Tree Panic, I think that could have done well too. but-
Anything but Green Hill.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't really want that many stages back. It was mainly just Aquatic
Yeah.
Ruin for me, and Quartz Quadrant.
Yeah.
Well, easier to state one from every game, I guess.
Yeah, for me, Sonic 1, probably Starlight, Sonic 2, Mystic Cave, Sonic 3, yeah, Angel Island, and Sonic CD Quartz.
Well, I guess if you separate and Knuckles, then you have an extra stage.
Yeah.
And Knuckles.
Sky Sanctuary.
For no, no. Probably if they hadn't done it in Generations, yeah, but Death Egg, definitely Death Egg.
Oh, Death Egg Mach 2 would have been, yeah.
Would you guys?
I would, okay, not to interrupt, but there's
Okay.
one question for you, Dominic, that was like, would you like to see any of the modern characters in classic Sonic game styles, like Shadow, Blaze, or Silver? I would love to see Blaze.
I would like to
Blaze
see
is
Blaze. Blaze would be fucking nice.
Yeah.
Blaze would be nice.
Blaze is like my favorite female character of the whole thing. Like, she is just so cool.
And someone
Yeah.
asked, would you guys want a sequel with all original zones? Hell yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Oh, yeah.
No-brainer.
that- Oh my god. Do you think Sonic should only have 2D games and try to keep making 3D?
I want the 2D to stay, but not to become the focus because, well, I don't know, because they can't make a good 3D game as it's like stands, it seems. But like, I want them to like keep this different dev team as a 2D and just keep it like always side by side.
Yes.
Like how Mario does. It's just like you have the Super Mario
the
Bros.
2D
series, and
and
then you
then
have
the 3D.
3D
Exactly like that.
one with Mario
That
Odyssey.
would be great.
I just don't see how they can't do that, because it's, I mean, I guess since I don't think I know Christian Whitehead, of course, enjoyed doing this, but I don't know if he
Yeah.
would want to
Well, if
keep
they just
doing
use the same engine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that would be it. Cause it's almost like a terrible example, but like how Call of Duty has like Activision and
Treyarch.
Yeah, Treyarch,
Treyarch
Infinity
doing
Ward,
different
yeah,
ones.
they
Like
have
I feel like
Sledgehammer.
if Christian Whitehead stuck with this team for the classic 2Ds, and then Sega Fuck Team sticks with their 3D stuff, then yeah,
I wouldn't mind that at all.
I'm not too crazy about the 3D stuff.
I
anyway,
haven't been
so.
for a while.
The
They're
last one was
just-
Generations,
Yeah.
and that was 2011. Look what year it is now.
Not in my 27.
Would you change Emerald stages in Sonic Mania 2? I wouldn't want to be honest.
I like what they did with the special things.
Yeah.
Going,
I just
going
wish,
back with the
like the main thing, like I said, Blue Spheres. I just wish there were more bonus stages like in 3 and Knuckles.
with
Yeah.
the 3D Sonic games, going back a bit with the 3D Sonic games, I just like I feel like there's the potential for 3D Sonic to be amazing, but they just haven't found that yet, and it really annoys me because they can't create a kind of cohesive, consistent idea.
I just don't get it. They had something going with gens. Why would
Like,
you change that?
Legit, all they have to do is just take what the 2D
Make new
games
level.
made.
What everyone wants people to do with Mania. Just take the same game, have it only be modern, and then just
Add
new
characters
levels.
that play literally like Sonic, but
Yep.
with different abilities. That's literally all you have to do.
The reason why no one likes the characters like in SA2 is because they play different. No one wants to do mech stage. I don't. I fucking hate that gameplay.
It's
If
so
it was
dumb.
Tails outside and he could just fly and get to like other spots, have different like speeds and shit, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, the saddest thing is 06 had the right idea. But it was
Yeah,
just 06, you know?
You know what the shit is? Apparently back in the beta for 06, if you beat the game, you get to play any stage with any character.
Yeah, see?
And I was just like, okay, how come they just couldn't take that and put it in the later games? Like, what?
They're just too scared.
I don't know what
and-
to be scared of, though. That's the thing.
I know we weren't really supposed to talk about it too much, but
You might as well just mention it. I know exactly what you're
as of what Forces is looking like right now, I am not happy with Forces. I
No.
think Forces is gonna be probably just like Lost World. It's gonna be so average and
Average, yep. at
and they
most.
ruined that Metal Sonic theme is so trash. I cannot stand that Metal Sonic theme. That
Just
is
the music in general is not very good.
yeah, the
God-
music
God,
is
they
they have
neutered
people
Metal
singing that
Sonic.
can't hit the high notes. It's ridiculous. So as of Forces, I can't say too many good things about it, but I can't say too many bad things either because the game's not out
Yeah,
yet. But
yeah.
But
Exactly.
we've seen a good chunk, and a lot of it is kind of.
yeah, and the gameplay isn't all that from the people that we know that have actually gotten the chance
Yeah.
to play it. It's I don't know.
It's not looking to. Oh.
Would you like to see something like how Mario Odyssey, where they fuse 3D a little bit 2D? And that'd be dope if like they can actually get a team to do it. Oh, and that by the way, that's gonna be the next podcast if we ever do one, is the Mario Odyssey one. But yeah, that'd be dope as hell if they did that.
That's pretty much all I got on Mania. Fucking love that game.
That's it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are going to be doing a giveaway. For those that do not have Sonic Mania, one of you lucky people in the chat is going to win a copy of it tonight. Let me just open up my Twitch giveaway thing real quick.
Everyone's like, I have the game.
I know, right? I decided not to mention it just in case people would be like, "Oh, okay." It's just, I'll just come back whenever the giveaway starts. So that's why I never mentioned it this entire time until now.
Got him.
Yeah, that was a good thing.
Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and open up my.
I'm still here, but just crushed. I'm sorry, McDarrett, but it's just that's how it's viewed with a lot of people right now, and it's I honestly feel like I would like the game to be good. Don't get me wrong. It's just it doesn't look too promising right now.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main thing about Forces. Alright, so for the people that do not have Sonic Mania, this is for everybody, by the way. This is not subscriber only. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna type in a keyword. It is going to be, it's gonna be Sonic Mania. The S and the M are capitalized. So go ahead and just type it in, and I will decide the giveaway winners in a few minutes.
What's buffering for me?
Oh, is it? Oh, yeah, it is. Damn. The moment I open up the goddamn thing. Hold on. Let me get rid of that. Hold on. Come on. Quit doing this. Yeah, I need to actually call my fucking internet because this shit's getting ridiculous. I don't know why it's actually doing this. Hold on. Luckily, it's still going. Wait, we might.
This is back.
We might be back. Okay, we're back. All right. I don't need to edit that out either. Okay. Okay, so people heard. All right. So if you type in Sonic Mania, both S and M are capitalized. You'll actually get a chance to win a copy of the game system of your choice, by the way. So if you have it on, so if you have an Xbox One, PS4, Switch, PC, whatever system you have, just let us know, or let me know, and we'll get it going. Okay, we got a few more minutes, and then I'm gonna roll the giveaway winners, and then I'm probably gonna end it off and cuss out my internet provider. This is the Mario Odyssey podcast. Yeah, that game's gonna be godlike. Yeah, for one more time, if you type in Sonic Mania, S capitalized, M capitalized, you will enter the giveaway for Sonic Mania of your choice, whatever system you want. And before I do the giveaway, I'd like to say thank you guys for coming out to the stream. Thank you three in the call for joining me throughout this. It's actually pretty fun.
Oh, yes.
The mods in the chat, thank you for keeping the chat tamed, entertained, whatever. I'll give you guys one more minute to join the giveaway.
See, this was a good idea.
Oh yes. Yeah, all credit goes to Witch, honestly, because he was the one that actually came up with the idea of doing a podcast for this. So thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
I mean, you did most of the work, so.
I just spoke here, bro.
Bless.
Oh, who won? I was.
Oh, I didn't choose yet. We're about to.
Oh.
Alright, so the winner of the Sonic Mania game.
TrainerJuan. Yay!
Yeah, go fuck yourself, man.
Wait, hold on. For Badgers, it's not explanation point. It's just Sonic Mania, just all capitalized. Or S capitalized, M capitalized. When would I play Final Fantasy? Wait. That's Final. Wait, no, that's not Final Fantasy. That's FT13. There you go. Okay. Yeah, I never got the. Juan, you said you got the special edition, right?
Yeah.
How big is that statue?
I don't have space for it.
Yeah, it'd be like that. Yeah, I'm kind of glad I didn't do it.
It's the box especially is fucking huge.
You don't have space for anything, so it's fine.
All right. The winner of Sonic
It's
Mania.
a nice statue.
Galaxy Rush, you are the winner of Sonic Mania. Whatever version you want, just let me know.
Fucking Galaxy Rush. God damn it.
Someone said re-roll.
My boy gets to actually enjoy the goodness that is Sonic Mania. Just let me know what system you want. PS4. Do you have PayPal? Because I can just send you the money that way. And then just screenshot me whenever you get the game. Just screenshot me that you're playing it, or tweet at all of us if you can.
Yeah.
That'd be dope as hell. So that the music ended just in time too. That is it. If you came in late for the podcast, I will be uploading it literally right after this. So that way for those that did miss it, they can actually like catch up with everything. Once again, thank you guys for joining me. This has been another podcast.
He doesn't have a PayPal.
Oh, he doesn't. Oh,
so you can just buy it on Amazon and send them the code.
Yeah, I'll do that. Juan, if you can send me the link to that, I will.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. All right, but I'm going to
for PS4.
Yeah, PS4.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to end this off, and I'm going to cuss out my internet provider in just a few minutes. So you guys have a good one, and I'll just let the auto host just do its thing. See you, people.
Bye, friends.
All right, here's the link.
Very well.
Lit.